Have we forgotten a part of the Ummah that we once described as the most persecuted ethnicity in the world, whose persecution never stopped, only our attention did? When was the last time you heard someone mention the Rohingya? When was the last time you saw their faces, heard their stories, or thought about what they were going through right now? The Rohingya once filled our timelines, and then almost overnight, they disappeared from our conversations. But their suffering didn't disappear. It continues every single day, in refugee camps and in the villages they were driven out from. These are our people, Muslims, who have been stripped of everything, their homes, their citizenship, and their dignity. And we owe it to them to remember. The Rohingya come from the Rakhine state in western Myanmar. They've been there for generations, but in 1982, Myanmar's government passed a law that erased them from their existence, literally. The law denied them citizenship, made them stateless, invisible in the eyes of the state. No rights, no recognition, nothing. This was the beginning of a campaign to push them out entirely. The Rohingya couldn't move freely. They needed permission to travel between villages. They couldn't marry without government approval. Their children couldn't go to school. They were forced into labor. Slowly, methodically, they were being suffocated. Sounds familiar, right? It is as if I'm describing what we know of Gaza. Then in August 2017, everything erupted. The military launched what they labeled as an operation, but what unfolded was a genocide. Entire villages were set ablaze. Soldiers went door to door killing men, raping women, throwing children into fires. Mosques were burned and families were torn apart. The UN would later describe it as an ethnic cleansing with genocidal intent. Over 700,000 Rohingya fled. They crossed mountains and rivers to reach Bangladesh, many of them walking for days with nothing but their clothes. Mothers carried babies. The elderly stumbled forward with walking sticks. They left behind everything because staying meant death. Bangladesh took them in. The camps in Cox's Bazar swelled into the largest refugee settlement on the planet. Today, more than 1 million Rohingya live there, crammed into shelters made of bamboo and plastic sheets. When the monsoons come, the camps flood. When fires break out, they spread in minutes. Children grow up with no real education, no future, and no sense of what life could be beyond those camp boundaries. And they can't go back. Myanmar hasn't changed. The military that burned their villages is still in power, stronger than ever after their 2021 coup. The Rohingya who stayed behind live under apartheid conditions, confined to camps, denied basic freedoms, treated like criminals for simply existing. So what do we do now? We remember them. We speak of them and we refuse to let their story fade into the noise of history, because this isn't over. Not for them, and it shouldn't be over for us either. May Allah ease the suffering of the Rohingya and grant them peace and justice.